Hello, I'm Louise Colgan, Chair of the I.O.L.I Proficiency Committee. I've prepared a brief presentation about this program for our UNCON week. I'm recording via Zoom, so I'll start by sharing my screen. To begin, we'll look at an overview about the program. The International Organization of Lace Proficiency Program for Lacemaking was originally established in 2004 for I.O.L.I members wishing to pursue recognition of their lacemaking skills. The journal-based program is designed to allow participants to demonstrate knowledge and proficiency of lacemaking techniques for a specific family of laces. Topics include torsion technical, tape laces, point ground laces, tatting, torsion mastery, and advanced study. Candidates who pursue the program are invited to submit their work for critique by an assessment committee. Successful completion of the program will be recognized with a certificate and pin, plus a featured article in the I.O.L.I bulletin. Current I.O.L.I membership is required in order to participate. The cost to register is $25 US per journal. For general information and registration form, go to our website at www.internationalorganizationoflace.org and click on the Proficiency Program tab. You may also contact me, Chair Louise Colgan, at proficiencychair@internationalorganizationoflace.org. Next, we'll take a little bit more of a look at the journals and their contents. Again, we have 6 topics: torsion technical, torsion mastery, tape lace, point ground, tatting technical proficiency, and advanced study. For the torsion technical journal, there are 21 designs included, which are progressive in difficulty. In addition to working the lace samples, candidates must answer questions related to the pieces and document their work. Also include a written introduction to torsion lace, bibliography, and lacemaker statement. The torsion mastery journal includes more of an original design kind of program. So candidates are asked to prepare multiple original designs for a list of torsion elements, and also reconstruct a pricking for a given sample of an old piece of lace. In the tape lace journal, work 13 pieces of tape lace, including examples of Milanese, Schneeberger, Russian tape, and Idria. Again, there will be documentation questions to answer along with a written introduction, bibliography, and lacemaker statement. In the point ground journal, work 12 pieces of point ground lace, including examples of Buck's Point, Turner, Chantilly, Blonde, and Polychrome. Same with documentation questions, the introduction, bibliography, and lacemaker statement. The tatting technical journal includes 32 pieces of tatted lace with accompanying documentation questions, the bibliography and lacemaker statement as well. For the advanced study of lace, design a program in which you work representative samples of a lace or lace-related topic of your personal interest. Submit a proposal for your project to the Proficiency Program Committee for approval before starting. And the work in your portfolio should be sufficient to support proficiency in your chosen area of study. So this might include something that's outside of one of the other topics. For example, something like one of the continental laces. In terms of some general notes, current version numbers for each journal are listed with this general document and are also included on the website and in the handbook. Candidates must be sure to work with the most recent editions. Please contact the chair to request an update if you need one. New copies will be sent as PDF files via email. Lace samples that have already been completed from an earlier version may be submitted for assessment, but relevant documentation must be updated. An assessment fee of $150 US must be paid before assessments take place. Pre-assessment of up to 3 samples is an option for candidates who would like feedback prior to submitting journals for full assessment. Next, we'll have a look at the registration form. The form may be found on the website and also in the handbook. So you may print out a copy from either source. Fill in your name, select the journal or journals that you'd like to register for, and then include your contact data, address, city, state, etc., email, and your current I.O.L.I membership number. The committee will assign the proficiency ID number, and this is a way to identify candidates, especially during assessments or if you have questions along the way. Again, there's a $25 registration fee. It may be paid via check. It's also possible to pay using PayPal. We'll have a look at one of the journals. Here, the Torsion Technical Journal. This is the cover sheet. It's a detailed table of contents. And the first sections include a lot of general information about the journal, what's included, how to prepare your portfolio, some details about assessments, a glossary of terms, and other information that will help as you're preparing your journal for assessment. Included is some information about portfolio evaluation. It's nice to know as you're working through the journal what sorts of things the assessors will be looking at. So evaluation criteria include overall presentation of the portfolio, thoroughness and quality of written work, also for the lace samples, overall appearance, suitability of thread type and size to gauge of pattern, appropriate use of construction techniques, consistent tension, neat and tidy joining if applicable, successful use of color, again, where applicable, inconspicuous changing of threads when required due to knots or breaks in the thread, smooth, even cloth stitch and half stitch elements, smooth rounded spiders, well-rounded fan motifs, straight sewing edges, small, uniform and well-twisted winky edges, movement of threads from solid design areas to ground areas, and also documentation of any errors if applicable. We include a list of recommended books and videotapes or DVDs. Most of these are available in the Iowa library, so we encourage all candidates to use this resource. It's very valuable as a way to assist you along the way. We'll have a look at one of the journal pages. You'll see a photo of the sample, the pricking, and at the bottom, in this text box, the documentation that's required. Here we see we're asked to examine this lace edging and figure out what stitches were used to make it. Count the pinholes per inch and select an appropriate thread to work the pattern, then work the piece. For documentation, what design elements are present in this piece, outline each design element on a copy of the pricking and identify the stitches used for that element. And in this case, what ground did you choose between the triangle and the fan? Describe the structure of the ground stitch using C for cross, T for twist. So this is a nice example of what most of the pages will be like in this journal, and the same for the other topics. Just of course, different topics, different prickings, slightly different documentation questions based on the appropriate sort of questions that we need to answer. We'll look a little bit about assessments and awards. Journal assessments take place at convention. Evaluations are done by a team of 3 assessors per journal. Prior to submitting a journal for assessment, candidates must notify the chairman of the Proficiency Committee of their intent to submit. The deadline for notification is January 1st, with confirmation by April 1st prior to convention where assessment will be done. We asked for the confirmation just to be sure that everything is on track. For full journal assessments, again, there is a $150 US fee that must be paid before the review takes place. As a preliminary exercise, candidates may submit up to 3 pieces for pre-assessment. Assessors will provide valuable feedback to assist candidates as they proceed with their journals. There is no fee for pre-assessment, and we encourage candidates to take advantage of this opportunity. Successful candidates are presented with a special pin and certificate at the convention banquet. Their accomplishments are featured in an article published in the I.O.L.I bulletin. A record of those awarded with this honor is included in the handbook as well. We see at the left here an example of the pin. Everyone will receive this top portion, and there are bars then for each topic. So torsion technical, torsion mastery, tape lace, point ground, tatting, advanced study. So the bar is presented for the topic that the candidate has been awarded, and then an IOLI bar at the bottom of the pin. The certificate looks a little bit like this. We'll have just the name of I.O.L.I, certificate of achievement, presented to the name of the candidate, the name of the journal, and signatures. So here we have, again, a nice overview of the program. Please feel free to contact me, Louise Colgan, at Proficiency Chair at International Organization of LACE.org if you have additional questions.